I drink chocolate milk because I am a grown kid. What is a kid? A kid is a key individual door with a dong genital. I don't have a dong genital, but I was called a kid because I was a child who went to school. And I'm also not a child. I'm not a child. I'm not a kid. A child would be something that is formed to be small. In the leverage with that, I am myself, the Godhead deceased in a small God form that is about the size of a 3-year-old, and I did grow my height slowly every year, a little every year for about 11 years. It took me to be full height from size of a 3-year-old child. But I call myself a kid because I always was a kid going to school. And everybody at school, we're all called kids. That's funny, they don't know the difference between me and everybody else, but it was always like that. I can't explain it. I did some things that were outstanding to myself, but I got all the keys hostaging in my house that never was solved. And in school, there was all the thieving of the school buses, the threatening, checking my address with school buses. Everybody's on the school bus. Everybody has a school listing of, they have a name, they have a school home address listing, and they have parents that have parent teachers conferences. Parent teachers association, as if all the boys have dong genitals, and they don't, and you don't know how to get out of that. The boys have an illegal alive male genital deceased penis. They have a penis, they don't have a dong, and they're not really male that way. They're just a penis genital on a body, and it's illegal. It's not truly male and it's not female. It's illegally elsewheres. And I went through all the schooling with these illegal male people with a penis genital, and they don't afford the karma that they are at this point. They're not due near me anymore. There are still some males that are around my address that are checking the address here, where I need myself deceased out of being formed, but just because the males are checking my address, and you're not allowed near me, and you don't know how to be elsewheres, that's really not true that I would be involved with that. You don't know how to be elsewheres. That would be between a male and another male, or I have to say males. They're not males because they don't have a dong genital. I am disclaiming myself, but I will go on with the speech offending that I will call them males when they're not males. They don't have a dong genital. They have a penis genital, and there's no name for what that is. If you have a penis, you're not supposed to be in view of anybody who's not yourself. You need to be alone with your penis until you die. There's really no way to solve that you have a penis. And in this case, because the males are in view of myself, that's the way I can see them. I don't have a penis myself. If I see somebody who has a penis, it goes to Africa. It has to be in Africa. So what would be in Africa? There are so many people with a penis. They would be in African blood prisons because there are very many of the males with penis. That means the male died the wrong way and it has a penis, and it's due in Africa. So what's wrong with me having been educated by all these, most of my teachers were females, but I have a few male teachers, and maybe upper education, some more male teachers, in the university. But they're really due elsewheres in Africa. Uh, and I can't use that I was ever really near them because they're all illegal at this time. They're not due to check my address. If you have a penis, you don't have an address, you have a penis. And that's why you need to be in Africa, and they're illegally alive in America, and they do go very far into the offending. They don't know when to stop. They don't know how to stop. I'm saying that after 45 years of alive of the consumption of that they've been in public. If you're a male and you have a penis and you've been in public, You're always threatening that you're going to do something illegal, and you're not due near the females. And then the females are being formed around that there are males in the public, and the females are not feminine that way. Their illegal castration of a male penis to make it female is not enough for me. I am the female. I don't need any help with that. If you're a female, you can be in Africa as well, but I don't have that completely paid for yet. When I'm deceased out of the formed world, all the females will be in Africa as well. And you're just illegally alive in America because you don't let go of the things that are wrong to God. And you have been doing that all wrong in alive of 45 years of alive. You have shown, reflected that you don't understand what it is to be in a prison. Yes, but you're not supposed to involve myself. You could have had all those questions, all the same questions elsewhere. You did additional offending directly to this Godhead, and that was never due. That was just optional. You didn't know how to be elsewhere. Did you just treat me the same as if I was one of you? And you don't know how to be elsewhere because they have a back and forth. If you one says no to the other one says no, the male says no to another male. With a penis, you say no to each other. You both have a penis, you say no, then you go to the female. The male wants to be with the female because it doesn't get no from the female, and that's the scheme. The female is illegally alive as a female. It's hiding that it has been castrated out of a penis by God, and that's stolen because I'm the female Godhead, and I don't want any other females in alive. So they are really, truly not friendly with each other, and they're not my friends either. I don't have any female friends that I would like to speak of. I can tell you something or another about how I've been created and myself's alive, but I don't actually have an affinity, attraction to anyone who hates me. I don't need you either. Yeah, but I don't hate you on your money. You hate me on my money. And you don't know that. I know you don't know. That's rich. Capri Sun, has anyone heard of that? It has a straw with a sharp like this, and it goes into a pouch. Capri Sun. Well, I really liked that when I was younger. And they have like fruit juices in the Capri Sun now. I like that too. I guess it used to be a drink. Now they have real juice in there. A drink would have like sugar in the juice, sugar in the water. Mitchello beer. I had a camp counselor at Camp Interlochen in Eagle River, Wisconsin, which was northern part of Wisconsin, but I think it's deceased at this time. Uh, the camp counselor, I don't remember her name, but she was in Cabin Share, if I'm not mistaken. One of the cabins I was in early in my youth, going to that camp. Uh, she said Michelangelo, and she read out of a book to like she would read at night before we'd go to sleep in the cabin. Michelangelo. And she said it's not Michelangelo, it's Michelangelo. Okay, well, I'm here at the end of my lifetime saying Michael is the entity that is known as Jesus Christ, but the church did not adequately expound upon why the figure on the cross or crucifix was named Jesus Christ. And that's because there is somebody missing. So the missing persons report by the church is that the Church of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints, the report is that Jesus does not have a penis genital. He's not alive with a penis. He elsewhere had a Dong Genital, and it's not alive here with a penis. So that's the missing persons report by the church, and they're not allowed to say Dong Genital because it's not in alive. But they're not allowed to say that Jesus is on the cross or crucifixion because that's also not alive. So who said what? Pope John Paul III, Pope John Paul Sr., Pope John Paul Elder, and then Pope John Paul Sr. He was in the Vatican problem saying that Jesus was crucified. And then, of course, there's Passion of the Christ by Mel Gibson's directing. So is there some impressions of that Jesus was really on the cross and in a lot of pain, but Jesus doesn't have a penis, so that's why we don't have to see Passion of the Christ. It's not alive that way for Jesus. The signal for everyone who sees the cross or crucifixion in the churches, you don't know who the figure is on the cross. You can say it's Jesus, but he didn't name himself. And I'm also not Becky that way. I was named Becky, but I wasn't on a crucifix. I was just in my house, so I got named Becky, and it's not true. It's not true my name is Becky. It's true my overlord has the name Becky. And I'm about to say that Becky is my girlfriend, but she's not my girlfriend because I'm Becky right here, deceased. That means I was named Becky and she accidentally executed myself, and I'm the upper order. So my genitals are going to be deceased out of formed by myself. And then it will be disclosed that everybody calls male with female boyfriend and girlfriend. I have that is in heaven, boyfriend and girlfriend, and that's because usually if it's the husband, it's not doesn't have genitals, and if it's the wife, it doesn't have genitals. And here in the world, you say husband has male genitals, wife has female genitals, and that's confusing. You say the boyfriend and the girlfriend. The boyfriend has male genitals, the girlfriend has female genitals. Male genitals the wrong way, female genitals. It's just too much karma for me to tell you what's wrong with it. I have an order that's just not in view here because you're not due to be formed. You're due in prisons because you're illegally formed. You're not due to sit around and watch the internet and entertain yourself while you're waiting for me to decease the creation, and you don't believe in me. You don't believe in the threatening that would decease creation. You're worried about what the threatening sounds like to your ears hearing and what it looks like to your eyes and your vision impairment and your vision correction. You have vision correction that has extended my life. I just don't afford that you go to ophthalmologists or that you illegally alive, let's say out of shunning or just formed, with glasses on your face. No one can afford that. No, nobody affords that. You have glasses because why? Because nobody who sees you with glasses knows why you have glasses. I know I have a pair of glasses right here, and I have so much leverage on myself to get these glasses. It's not fair to tell you that the glasses are just for myself because I have a vision impairment. I can't see without the vision correction to go out and about. I've been homeless without glasses, and I saw a prison, but I can't get in there. I was walking very far. Yes, I walked miles. I don't know. I walked 20 miles, and I saw a prison. And this is with no glasses. That means I died somewhere to make it possible for me to see the prison. But I can't get in. I can't just walk up to the prison and get in there. I need a death on myself. Deceased out of the door locking and out of the formed world, and then I go into a prison that is really just for myself, and it doesn't have to do with walking there. It would be like not alive here, it would be elsewhere's formed. I'll be removed out of the female genitals is what's the prison is for that. I need out deceasement out of my genitals, so I need a prison for that. And I will see what is the office in the prison. I will see that. I have an office right here at the Fremont Gardens Apartments Complex in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this office has been charging me rent, and it's taken referrals from other places that I've lived before. that I can live here and keep paying rent, and otherwise you don't accept the referral that I need to live here, that somebody owed me an apartment. You don't understand that here in Las Vegas. And the office charging me rent, the office is not deceased that way because it's charging rent money, exorbitant rent money. I want to pay you $4 a month for a Snickers bar is not true. I would not give you any money for that I need a place to live because I can't rent that I'm asleep. Nobody can pay rent while they're unconscious. And yeah, the money's being charged. And the threat is that the money describes the size of the apartment. It doesn't describe that you go to the bank and get money out of a bank and give it to an office and then the office lets you stay in the apartment. That's all very thick and complicated. And I am deceased out of the threatening that it was possible, but it's not in my leverage to be here. I don't actually have a life that way. You're finding me very happy and nice because I'm deceased. I'm deceased in the threat that I would live in a rented apartment because you don't want to let me in my own house. Wow, why not? It's not alive that way for you, that it's not my house. It's not alive that way for you, that it's not my house. It is my house. I will tell you what is mine to myself. Are you threatening me that you're not going to take it from me? That's you needing to be in jail and prison because I am not in a prison right here for any kind of fighting. When I am in the prison, I will let you know if I need a fight with you. But why? Because you are fighting over the property. If the property's in dispute, you have to leave the dispute. You can't stay in the dispute and push one person or the other, push one person or another out of a property in dispute. That is, you need to be in prison, and if you don't know that about yourself, your illegal genitals are not enough. It's not enough for you to see the God within yourself. You just have to give up. You can't keep pressing the people around you that they owe you something. The movie Exit Wounds with Steven Seagal. There is DMX, blackmail adultery now. He said to a white officer in a police car, was in the driver's seat, and he pulled out a gun. The black guy pulled out a gun, and DMX, and he put a gun right to the head of the white officer who was behind the wheel of the car. And he said, the blackmail adultery, DMX said, "Why are you pressing me?" He's popping up all over the place, but he said it with his New York accent. All over the place. I can't say it really myself. And it's true, I could feel that, but he's black. He's not making the threatening. I can hear the words and I know what he means, but he didn't fire the gun. He didn't make the threatening and fire the gun. And then I suppose I wouldn't have seen the movie. The movie was showing that there was some failure to thrive there. Does a black person fire a gun? Uh, I've not seen it myself, like alive. Is it on TV? Well, who? Does anybody know of a black person who fired a gun on TV? Yeah, I don't know. Because they're black. Why are they black? Well, you have a racist sensitivity problem that you don't know why a black person is black. So, Becky is my girlfriend. My name is Lucky. And I'm the Godhead, but she's also goddess the wrong way. She's a girlfriend, and that's what's wrong with it. She's a girlfriend. I am Lucky is not really a boyfriend because I'm not a boy. I'm a Godhead, and I don't have a genital as Lucky in that scenario between Becky and myself. So I have the name Becky here because I have genitals on myself, but if I was Lucky, I would not have genitals on myself, and I would not be female. I am female right here. That is true that it's Becky's name that's being used here, but I was named Becky by Donna is not loving at all, and Becky's very much myself. Uh, so I don't have what it takes to say that I love Becky as a girlfriend here. I think I need that deceased, and it's really angry. I need to purgatory all of the anger and contamination of that everybody thinks that a male is a boyfriend, a female is a girlfriend, and you get along. I don't want you to eat the soul's food and get along. If it was Lucky and Becky together and elsewheres in the Creator, my own, it would be not both of us eating food. So that's what you do in this world. You have a boyfriend who eats food, a girlfriend who eats food, and they get along over the food. The food belongs to myself. I didn't give it to you. I am right here, and I didn't give you all the food there is everywhere that you can go shopping anytime you want, get anything you want out of the store, pay any cashier that's standing there or be one. It's true, I can't be involved in that. I don't have leverage that way because I'm alive right here is my leverage. And you dismiss all about it's even worse. It's compound fracture when you're going out and busying yourselves with food and friendly, right? You're going against my leverage that it is to decease the formed world. And I've been alive so long, I'm finally going to die out of the threatening. And you don't have that you can reconcile what you've been doing with myself because I'm going to be deceasing out of the female genitals in a prison. So, a prison for God. Yes, God was angry and you put God in prison. I find that you did. You can and you did. But once I am in the prison, what are you going to do with yourselves deceased in the threatening? Because you are trying to make a point to me that you are yourself and you're not going to change. And I'm making the point to you, I am myself and I'm not going to change. Which one of us is going to make the point? You are yourself and you're not going to change. I am myself and I'm not going to change. But you're ongoing angry with myself when the threatening is deceased. That means you carry that anger. You burned it in yourself. That you were angry with me and you did something in karma to burn it in yourself. You have it like recorded on yourself that you're angry with me and you don't have that deceased. That's you. I didn't do that. You did that to yourselves. And I can name a few names like Donna and Hans and Joellen. And there are others. What about all the landlords around this address right here when it's close to myself needing deceasement out of the door locking? It's getting heated around the door locking that you want me out of the door locking because I'm about to die against yourselves. And that's you still recording on yourselves and recording on God and recording in alive that you don't believe in me and that I am none of my business in all the ways that I speak because you're speaking to me with yourselves. You say, you talk to me, you ask me what my name is, and you tell me that I should not talk back to you, that I should just not speak, but you're waiting there for an answer. You talk to me, you wait for an answer, and then sometimes you nod and you acknowledge that I said something, but you don't want me to talk to you about yourself with yourself. You actually talk to me and you want your whole body to vanish as though God is making a speech offense and he's going to take care of your body for you. There's no such thing as that. You are in karma. It can't be free. You can't just free offend against myself and you'll never see me again in yourself. You recorded it on yourself. You can't hide from yourself. You have illegal genitals, and the illegal genitals are mixing in with illegal action on the threatening, and it's complicated. And that you did that with the money to the money. And I find I don't have myself deceased that way. I have myself deceased out of my genitals. Well, I deceased myself out of formed. Why didn't you? Maybe you will. Maybe you'll look in the afterlife and see if you died out of formed. But if you died out of formed, I'm deceased out of formed, and I'm not done. I'm going to be in deceasement out of formed, and you're going to be died out of formed. But you have karma. You have recorded on you the anger I just described. You didn't understand myself, and you ate it. You fattened yourself with something you didn't believe in. You didn't have deceased out of it.